Right, hello. Basically, I do hope that you can see me as I am recording a video. I've already done one today earlier, as you may well notice. I recorded it and sang. This video, though, I'm doing it before I get something to eat, and yes, I am getting something to eat quite late. And the idea of this video is for me to talk about something, because earlier on, I was watching, well, I had it on anyway. I don't necessarily watch it religiously or all the time, but a program in this country called Ruth Women. Now, in case people do not know what Ruth Women is, because there will be people in America, and there will be people, obviously, from around the world, so you may not have any idea what Ruth Women is. Basically, it is a panel show. It's basically where you get a presenter, usually female, always be a female, Andrew McLean, or basically Carol Vorderman, or it could be Ruth. Can't remember her last name, but Ruth anyway, who goes out of Raymond Holmes. And they host a show where you have, and you get three panelists on there. They are usually, they are women, and they're not all young. They're all in their middle age. Usually the age ranges from something like 35 to say 65. Because you've got people on there like Janet Street Porter. Sometimes you've got like Coleen Nolan. You get people like Sherry Houston. You get people like Jane McDonald that's been on there, and other people. Jimmy Lee goes on there sometimes, so you do get a few younger ones, but not many. And they usually, or they used to have guests on there basically, which would be 2 guests in the space of an hour, but they limit it sometimes now to 1 guest. And what they do is they talk about things, and they share their views on things, you know, that are topics going out in the news, which could be anything, you know. So if you've got something like where you might see in the news recently, and over the last few weeks, it's been about Ebola. So that could come into effect on what they feel about it. Or you might get something like a footballer is returned back to being a footballer after he was in jail for rape. Basically, you know, should he be allowed? And these people would do that. And every day, Monday to Friday, you have different panels on. You know, they're not all the same. You know, you don't get like Coleen Nolan on every day of the week. Although she's on probably 2 or 3 times a week, and they allow, you know, and she's not on with the same panel all the time. Like, she might be on one day with 2 people, but doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be on with them 2 same people the next time she's on. Fair enough. So that's what the show's all about. It's basically one of them. It's not the greatest show in the world, but it's not the worst show in the world. But basically today there was on about Nadia Sawali was on, and Coleen Nolan and somebody else, and they were talking about basically a question about love. It was all about somebody who had written a book about finding love on the train or the bus, and Nadia Sawali said it's wrong. She views it as being a bad thing. Why would you be on the bus? Why would you be on the train finding love? Like, you know, isn't there not a way of finding love when you go to the pub? Like, you go to a bar, you go to a club or something, or a dating site, and that's what you do. But I wanted to share my views on this one. I don't think it's a bad thing. Coleen Nolan said it's not a bad thing, and neither did the person who was Ruth. She was on it, and she was basically saying that it's not really a bad thing. Why can't you find love basically on the bus or on the train? And there are people actually they come in. Christy Bear was also on it as well. They were interviewing him basically, and mentioned about the lady in red. I know that song. The lady in red, she's dancing. I'm not going to start singing it anyway. But at the end of the day, people got in contact with the show because they allowed people to contact the show, and there were people that were contacting the show saying basically, I met my partner on the bus or on the train. So it can happen. There's no right or wrong about this. I mean, people might think it's weird, but it's not really weird. At the end of the day, it's basically you're finding someone attractive. That's all you're doing, but you're striking up a conversation. It's something like that, by actually meeting somebody where you might, you know, and that's all you're basically doing. So and this is something that could be done, you know, and it can vary on where it is. I mean, locally or whatever. That's what it could be. It could be somebody who basically commutes to your hometown. You might have a bus service that goes to a little town or another place just outside of town, and you might have to be on that bus. So the example would be like, in an example of Peterborough, the area would basically be that it might be a bus that you catch that goes from Peterborough to Yaxley or goes from Peterborough to Spalding, and you know, these people might work in Peterborough, or they might commute to Peterborough nearly every day because of, you know, work, or they come, whatever. And at the end of the day, you probably don't know these people that you're sitting on a bus, and you might get on a bus one day and basically be sitting there, and you might think, oh, this lovely girl, you know, whoever she is, comes on the bus, and you think, So, that could be something that might happen, and you strike up a conversation, or try to strike up a conversation and think, you know, and that's what happens. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get that whole lot, but the thing might be that you might strike the conversation and then think, I would like to see what happens. The chances are you might say, shall we swap numbers? You know, go on you know, you might say, would you like to join me for a coffee on, say, a Saturday? So you would say something like Saturday, sort of lunchtime, you know, 12, 1 o'clock or whatever, spend the afternoon round town, you know, going on a date with somebody. It's that simple. No one's telling you that it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, you can find love anywhere. I mean, the internet, you can do that without a dating site, obviously, but again, dating sites might be more safer place to do that. But I'm just saying that there's no reason why you can't be on a bus or a train and think, well, I'm not going to find love here. You might. I'm not saying I will. I'm not saying everybody will, but I'm just saying that don't problem with that. And all these women, ladies to one, they're basically, I wouldn't want it. It was just yucky. She didn't really seem that, you know, with it. So there you go. Just an idea that I wanted to share my view. That I don't think it's a bad thing that if you're going to go out on the bus or the train, that one day you might be on there, you might see somebody you just kind of you like, and you just want to strike up a conversation. You never know, that conversation might end up being something far serious where you go from. And when somebody says to you, where did you meet your current partner, you go, oh, I met her 5 years ago on the bus. You know, I just happened to be on the bus, you know, that kind of thing, you know. And here we are now. That's what happened on some of the views that we had on the people writing into, or basically emailing into these women. They were saying basically that I met my partner on the bus, you know, and that's what happened. So, no wrong there, just my view. Anyway, for now, I'll leave it at that, and keep tuning. I've got more blogs to come soon. Bye for now.